Welcome everybody to our April Fool's Mastermind. I'm really excited. Today is obviously the first day of April, and we've never had it better. Here in New Mexico, it's been getting sunny. Today is really windy, and so I put some sunscreen on and I got it in my eye. So I have all morning I have been fighting sunscreen eye. Okay. So yeah, my life is good. So you guys may be wondering, why are we doing this on Google Meet? Isn't it janky and not as good as Zoom? Well, that's what I used to think. And I've learned just here in the last couple weeks that it has come in bounds. What is up, Sean? All right, so we're getting into it, man. Welcome everyone. Google Meet actually is Google. It's like one of the biggest search platforms, right? Google, and it is surpassed Zoom. Some of the mastermind meetings that I go to, where that I've paid tens of thousands, in some cases hundreds of thousands of dollars for masterminds, where I learn marketing, where I learn business and real estate and all the stuff I do, and they're starting to use Google Meet because Google Meet is not keeping everything underneath one, like making, because Zoom basically is like, no, you can't integrate with this, you can't integrate with that. Google's like, integrate with everything. So we're able to record, transcribe, we're able to do everything. So like, let me just turn this on really quick. So if somebody wanted to be in a meeting and they had to mute it, they could actually sit here and listen or actually watch the transcriptions. If you actually hit the CC down at the bottom, it'll actually turn on the closed captioning for you, which is pretty cool. It even has different languages and stuff. So it transcribes it as well. So we're going to start putting this in our masterminds. It's going to take a little bit longer for us to include these as replays, but we are going to do it. We're going to record them and we're going to put them inside of the meeting, inside of the community on school. So cool. Let's go ahead and get started. My name is Michael Reed. I built a process serving company, started in 2020 or 2014. And after my divorce, I got served divorce papers, and the guy told me how much he was getting to serve one single document. And I was like, dude, I deliver stuff for a living. Let me go see if I can make money doing this. And within 1 year, I was already making part-time while I went to school, $2,000, $3,000 a month. And so I decided to go full time, built a business out of it, which is now 123 Legal Support. And we have e-filing software, and we focus on California. And as I traveled around different conferences, teaching process servers, what I did, building a website and building the automation and the marketing, I learned that like a lot of process servers treat it like a part-time job. And once they realize that they can actually make this a business, that actually can pay all their bills, a light bulb clicks, and all of a sudden they become a professional. And they're like, wait a minute, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a business owner. I'm somebody who can actually live a life of, yes, I'm having to hustle. I got to work hard, but I can get new customers, and actually I can actually have a nice car. I can pay my bills. My wife can be proud of me, or my husband can be proud of me for doing all the things that you're supposed to do to provide for your family. It's really cool to see that. And so I started the Community Mighty Process Server to be able to keep all of these ideas that I have in one place. And this mastermind that we have today is to come and share your ideas and your thoughts and ask your questions. And sometimes we'll have people on here that are way further ahead than me in a game, where they have multi-million dollar, we're talking about $100 million companies that are buying other companies. And I've had them come in and speak, and we'll have them come in more in the future. But the most important part is that you are taking action and you're learning from the things inside the community. And then you come here to put it to the test, ask questions. I'm an open book. There's certain things I can't share legally, but most things I will just tell you, like, this is how you crush it. So cool. Well, thank you, Mark, for being our admin and our success team manager today, letting everybody in. That's really cool. We're still learning Google Meet, but it's pretty cool to watch it in action and see how much better it works in Zoom. So cool. All right, well, let's go ahead and go around. If you want to introduce yourself, just turn on your camera. That's how we do it here. This is a mastermind meeting. Our goal is to get to know each other. If you're working, you're busy, and you're just listening in, that's cool too. So all right, let's go to the first screen I have here, which is Mr. Sean.
Hello, good morning, everybody, or good evening, depending what part of the world you're in.
Yeah.
My name is Sean Griffin. My company is Griffin on the Go. I owned a courier delivery company, and during COVID, I had to shut that down and pivot. And now I exclusively do process serving. That started coming around a lot more when my deliveries couldn't happen. So I decided to focus all my time and energy on that. And so I've been doing process serving for almost 15 years, I guess now, but really just full time for the last 4, almost 5. And it's it's like Mike was saying, it's definitely once you see that there is a way to make this your full-time income and provide a good stable income for your family, it's I mean, the opportunity is there. You just gotta, I mean, it's not gonna come to you. You have to go get it.
Yeah, this is good. I love that, Sean. Yeah, you going after it and actually doing the things like the be the backup script. It's funny because I teach all this stuff and I put it inside the community, and then I'm talking to people who I know well, and they're struggling with these things, like certain things, like getting new customers. And so I've decided to write a book. I'm writing a book. I see some of you guys have it says screen on but not able to see. So yeah. All right. Yeah. Feel free to introduce yourself in the chat too if you're not able to share your screen. All right, cool. So yeah, I'm writing a book because there's certain things that like different delivery methods that work for some people, whereas they don't work for others, and they do work for others. So for some people, they want to sit down and watch a video. And for other people, they want to, read. I bought this real estate course around 2020, and it immediately went to chapter 1. I'm thinking I'm going to watch videos because that's what all the marketers and, real estate investor guys teach you is they do videos. Well, it was all text, every chapter, text. I was like, oh, I can't do it. I was just like so overwhelmed. I was like, you expect me to read? Like maybe as a supplement, but not as like the core element of like 34 chapters and then take a test on it. Oh my gosh, my mind just thinking about it was like hurting. So I understand some people though, that's how they learn best. Isn't that crazy? Like how I'm so extreme on this side, whereas you got other people learn this other way. So I'm sitting down, I'm taking the time with the help of ChatGPT. I basically wrote as much as I could, and then I asked ChatGPT, hey, what am I missing from this potentially? And it gave me so many other ideas I was like, oh yeah, of course. If you're going to send out mailers, like how can you automate that inside of a system? Like that's something I talk about already. And so just like reminding you. And so I'm being very careful not to let ChatGPT write the book for me because we all know and hear general information and it doesn't really help us at all. So this is going to be very to the point and teaching a certain principle that you can implement in your business that will give you immediate results if you do what you're supposed to do. By the way, here on Google, we can do the little hearts. Look, there you go. That one is for Edge. We got Edge over here. See, it has little emojis over here. If you really like what I'm saying and you're like, wow, man, that's so cool, you can actually hit these little emojis. See them? You could also do, if somebody says something sad, you could be like, sad. Hey, why did that one pop? What was that? Oh, maybe because I did a bunch of them. I don't know. Anyways, it's pretty neat. Yeah, see that one pop. That's crazy. Did I do that? I don't know. Somebody else did that probably. So anyway, we could get into some stuff. There's a bunch of different things we can talk about, but first I would like to introduce everyone to Miss Nettie. Nettie's the newest member of Team Mighty.
Oh, hi. Hi, guys.
Yes. Nettie is learning from Mark. Mark, what are you teaching, Nettie?
Oh, yeah. Hi, Nettie here. Welcome to the team. So right now, I was teaching Nettie about some of the marketing stuff that we have. So for now, what I'm teaching her is the email marketing and some of the snippets that we have. So, well, Mighty Automation is exclusively for the MPS members that we have, so they can access this. And first thing that you need to do is you need to set up your email first, guys. So by setting up that email, you can ask us to help you out and maybe book a scheduled meeting with me, and I'll help you set up your domain that you want to use. So going back, so in email marketing, we have some templates that you could use here for free. So for sending email campaigns as well. So if you go to the in Mighty Automation, go to the marketing tab, which is on the left side in the middle. You'll see here the campaigns, the templates, and the statistics. So for the templates, you can, well, we have some examples here already, but I'll let you, we'll just create a new one for you guys so you can
Oh,
see
Mark,
step by step. Oh,
Mark.
yeah.
Well, so a couple things. Yes, we do. I do want you to help people know about sending out the emails. But first, I just wanted people to know that Nettie is our first of many interns.
Mm.
Can you hear me? You hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. She's the first of many interns. We're calling it interns who's willing to come in here. I'm paying her to learn how to do this stuff before I place her with you. Okay. If somebody here is watching and they're like, oh, wow, she's like learning and this is somebody I want to actually put onto my team, you can actually hire them through Mighty Virtual and we will actually support you and support this, support Nettie. And so I was thinking like, I could actually get somebody where they already know and you don't have to really pay for their training, their 2-week training. And so this is going to be cool to see how it develops. Nettie learning from Mark, learning all the different things. In worst case scenario, I have 2 awesome, people handling all the Mighty Automation stuff. So it's kind of a no-brainer. So, but if somebody does want to hire Nettie out, that's the goal, is we want to place her with a good process serving company that needs their marketing help as well as proofs of service. Next week, she's going to be learning from Edge, all about Serve Manager and different ways of completing proofs in different states and how to answer calls and how to make calls, right, to be able to get new customers, which is pretty cool. So, all right, well, let's kind of go around. What do we have that we want to discuss today? Appreciate it, Mark. Thank you, sir. What do we have that we want to discuss today in today's mastermind? Does anybody have anything they want to put in the chat or do a little raise your hand feature? It actually makes a noise. Did you guys hear the noise? That's pretty cool. It's almost like somebody going, I have something, bloop. I like it. That's pretty neat. Let's see. Somebody wants to.
Natasha said she had something to say.
Yeah,
It goes like this.
Hey, go for it, Natasha. Can you unmute? There we go.
Hi, my name is Natasha McDaniel, and I am the owner of Integrity Discovery Solutions Group out of the state of Indiana. My question is, I have been doing this, I don't know. My original business plan was I was litigation support. Obviously, that is a feast and famine type of business. You're in there. We did everything from the paper discovery all the way to the forensics discovery all the way up to and including serving their legal documents and then helping them with their court cases. So obviously when a case is over, our job was over. So I reached out to one of the local guys here who was doing process service forever and ever. I have recently taken over his part of the business. He has decided to walk away. He's burnt out. And he was gracious enough because I was under his wing for so many years and working with him for so many years. He just said, it's yours. I'm done. So I'm one of the lucky ones. I have to say, I am one of the lucky ones who fell into this business already with clients because of who I came into the business with. My question is, here in the state of Indiana, I don't know if you have this trouble in other states. unless an attorney is in a bind, they're not using us. They have either their paralegals do it, or they obviously have the sheriff. The sheriff is cheaper than what we are in our state. So my question is, how do I approach something like that when working in this industry and wanting to build the process service part of the business? I've been trying to build it and reaching out to some of the attorneys I have personally worked with, and they're the ones who are saying, look, we have our paralegals do it, we can bill our paralegal out for this, and that's justifiable to an insurance company or to their client. How do we get that change of mentality here in the state of Indiana? I guess.
I love it. We have a hand raise. Let's see. Yes, Gail has something on this. Go for it, Gail. What does open queue mean? Oh, like a bunch of hands could be raised at the same time. That's actually pretty cool. So, Gail, I'm going to hit lower hand. And then I think hey, Charles was trying to come in. And then you got to unmute, sweetheart.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Okay. I had to unmute on the bottom. I was trying to unmute on the top. Hi. It's nice to meet you guys, Natasha. So my take on this is that you have to establish yourself as the expert. Yeah, Sheriff can do it, but will he do what a private process server will do? Which means, will he go at 8 o'clock in the morning? Will he go at 9 o'clock at night? Will he go at 7 o'clock in the afternoon? You have to show them that you're giving them more value than a sheriff or a paralegal will do, because you have the expertise. You know how to get your guy. You know what you need, the effort you need to get somebody served and served properly. You need to be the expert not only in how to serve process, but also in your process serving laws. Like, for instance, in New York, if I see the person, he's served. If I speak to him through the door and he identifies himself, he's served. This is based on case law in New York City. If he has a Department of Motor Vehicle address, if his Department of Motor Vehicle license is at a specific address, I can serve that address whether or not the guy lives there or not, because case law says that if he hasn't changed his license within the 10 days that he's given, that's a valid address. So those are the things you have to show your clients that that a paralegal won't know or that a sheriff won't do. So it's all about establishing your expertise and then getting that out there and marketing that. That's what that's my suggestion. Okay.
That's really good, Gail. Good.
Thank you.
Okay.
Natasha, you had something to say?
No, I was just thanking Gail for her input.
Yeah, Gail's been in the business a long time and much longer than me, and that's why I love that. That's why I love this mastermind principle. I won't echo what she said. I'll just say that she's absolutely right. You can, like, for one example is that a sheriff won't. I'm not telling you to do this, but this is, there's a lot of things you'll do that a sheriff won't do. When I first started, I would jump fences. I wouldn't recommend it now, but I would jump fences. I would drive my car around a gate to go down a driveway if I could. Like, whatever I could do to get it served, I would do, whereas the sheriff won't do. So you got to decide what you're willing to do legally, ethically, and you'll be surprised at the huge list of things that. Now, the problem is getting them to actually hire you, right? So sometimes that means just doing work and staying in front of them and building a friendship so they, because they won't do business with you if they don't know, like, and trust you. That's the marketing principle, trust. And as I've been sitting down writing my book, I've been coming back to this whole idea that a lot of my success comes from trust. You build friendships with them. And what's funny, Natasha, is what you said, I've had that feeling many times, because I remember after my second year in business, no, third year, I think it was at the end of the third year, the person who sent me most of my affiliate work died of cancer. And all of the attorneys in town knew I was her server. Like Mike's her server. Mike's her, I'm out there serving another attorney on her behalf, stuff like that, right? And so, but I got so many clients when she passed that she basically gave me her business and made me the power of attorney to help her deal with her estate. And she was owed over $100,000 from other affiliate companies that you have heard of in California. And that taught me right away. It's like, okay, I'm getting paid up front from now on. I had my website already. I started doing an online order form and everyone had to use it. I don't care who you are, you have to use it. And that's when I lost a lot of affiliates. But so Natasha, right now, are you primarily getting attorney clients? Is that what you were saying?
Yes, I primarily have the clients that the person that was involved with this, their clients. And then I have picked up a few different affiliates that have gotten to know me through him, obviously. Before he left, he kind of sent out a blanket email saying, hey, this is who you need to go to. She's good. She'll walk around a no trespassing sign, a beware of dog sign. She has dog treats. She's done all the tricks. So he did a lot for it. But like I said, I am wanting to grow the business because I know this industry. I know the legal industry, at least. I've been doing this kind of business since I was 21 and I'm now 57. So I do know about the document scanning side, which is where I started, and that's feast or famine. When they have a case, you're on. When you don't have a case, you've got a team not doing anything. And my team is very versatile, and I do try to put them into different areas. The process of service kind of scares them a little bit because I've had the guns pulled on me. I've had the baseball bats come at me. I've had the police called on me. I've been escorted by the police. I've been flashed by several different men, just a lot of things, and it scares them a little bit. So it's myself and maybe two others that I can, if I'm in a bind, they'll help me out. So I'm also looking at, going in a different direction on staffing as well. People that are not afraid of, there might be a little bit of a conflict, or you might get flashed by somebody, man or female. Actually, I had a man that went to one and the woman thought she'd get out of it by flashing. And he was like, oh my, no, here's your papers. And he left. But he called me immediately and told me what happened. I do wear body cams, and I do ask my team to wear body cams for protection. Especially after the guns were pulled on me. That's when the sheriff, when he talked to me, he was like, look, you need to protect yourself. You need to get a body cam. If you're going to do this, get a body cam. I've been listening to some of your pre-recordings and looking at how to find more ways of getting attorneys and searching, and I am reaching out to some of them. And I also have my, I call her my Girl Friday. She comes in and she helps out a little bit with researching and helping us find the numbers that we need so that I can call. Because I want it to be me that calls, because I want to be able to be the one with the face, since it is the company. And I'm hands-on in every aspect of the business, from the lit support to the scanning side to the process service side.
Natasha, I don't know how to say this or how it will come across, but like, you have a voice. I could hear in your voice and your tone that you would do really well doing the Be the Backup script. Right. Having like the confidence that I've been in this business for a while in some fashion, right? And to be able to call and to say, I see you probably already have a process server, but I'm curious if I can send over my rate sheet just in case y'all need a backup. With your voice, like, and the way that you say it and the delivery that you do, I have no doubt that if you do just like 5 or 6 a day, that you'll get people that will start calling you back. Because a lot of people get nervous on the phone, but if you actually just take what I'm telling you and do that to start the conversation and then just see where it goes, you might be surprised. Like, if you watch the replays of the challenge, I actually go through in the challenge and you actually hear them go like, well, the manager who hires them is right here. You want to talk to him? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And then here I am on the phone for 15 minutes recorded live, like of him telling me all the reasons why his current server sucks, right? Giving me all these pain points of why, if you get it served, why does it take 2 weeks to get approved? It's such an educational call. Like, I need to just pull it up one day and we all just listen to it and stop and talk about it, because he says that he talks about the proof. He talks about, if I send you 5 jobs, why do I get a bill for them before I get the proof? Like, if you say you're going to invoice me after you serve it, why am I getting a bill for? Like, communication is so important in business. And so the challenge that you're dealing with is the challenge we all deal with, is like, whether it's competition or the sheriff, in some areas, the sheriff, like in Florida, some areas of Florida, you just can't serve. The sheriff says no servers. There are no private servers in certain districts. And in some areas, that's all you have. So Gail, you had something?
The only thing else I can suggest is you can, concentrate on getting served, until you build up your attorney business. You can concentrate on getting other process servers in other states to send you work. Get yourself out there, NAPS, go through the NAPS website and, just tell people you're out there. That's the other thing. A lot of my cash flow comes from other process servers that give me business. And and as Mike says, you have a great voice. You can convince people just by what you're saying that you are an expert in this field and that you are trustworthy. And that's another area to develop, and it'll give you a cash flow. And then your attorneys give you the profit, it'll give you cash flow, it'll give you some income, but the attorneys then will give you the profit over that. So you can have your business.
Yeah, like you're on your way, this is the best way I've heard it explained, is like you're already on your way across town and you're getting paid to serve, 5 or 6 people across town, whether it's a collection client that you're giving a discount to, or it's an affiliate client, it's kind of the same, right? You're going across town and then you're making okay money, but then you get someone that calls you that day and they're willing to pay for a same day and they're willing to pay $400 or $500. Like, and so that's your big win. That's where you cash in, kind of. And then what I always looked at it was like, that's what kept the lights on. That's what kept the servers wheels rolling, so that, hey, I know you're going to be up north anyway. I just sent you this job an hour north. I know you're going to be up there anyway. Can you go ahead and piggyback this one on? And then how much would you charge me? And then, they're like, well, you already know I'm already going there. So, and and so as you build it out and you have these different guys, the other thing too is like hiring people who aren't in the industry. I know a lot of my colleagues hate me for saying that. They're like, why you want to make competition for yourself? It's true. If you teach a local person how to serve, they are now your competitor, and eventually they could take over, the market share. But if you find people who have more of this, I could go deep on this, but like the idea of the employee mindset versus the entrepreneur mindset. If you get somebody who has a C personality, a high I or a C on this DISC scale, they're not someone who wants to have their own thing. They're someone who wants to be a part of something. And you can Google it, ChatGPT it, about the I and the C in the DISC profile. I'm a D. I'm a D, right? Like I'm a driver. I'm somebody who wants to see things done. I want to do it myself. Like websites and everything. I needed to know how it worked. Like, why are you charging me this money? Is it worth it? Are you like, tell me why? And so when I learned how to do it, I was like, oh, that's why they charge so much, because it took all that time to set up the SEO. Like, it's not just woo-woo money. It's really so. Yeah, I love all that. A lot of great tips here. Gail, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Nicole, welcome, Nicole Davis. It looks like this is working out. Everybody seems to have found their way here. So cool, Natasha. Yeah, love it. Anytime we can talk about getting new customers and how to get in front of them and dealing with competitors, it gets me excited, because that's really how you take over a market. The other thing is there's plenty of customers for everybody. That's the other thing that you got to remember, is that, the people who use the sheriff, I'll give you this example and then we'll move on to someone else's comment or question. When I was, I think my 4th year, with 123 Legal Support, somebody, and I was all over, everyone knew me. I had all the attorneys sending me work. Word of mouth was just going so well. Blah, 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 right? Great. It was a perfect scenario. Other people heard, private investigators, people who weren't really doing process serving. They're like, man, this guy is killing it. And they started coming in trying to take some of that process serving work. And one PI came in and basically copied my website, like almost to the T. Not thumbs up. I meant thumbs down. There you go. Almost to a T. He copied my website. He copied my rates. And when I mean copied my website, like literally the word for word, and then with the rates and everything. And I was like, interesting. He's just going to come in, like, and I knew who he was too. He didn't serve papers before. He called his company like Butte Serve One, like for the county, and I was like, what am I supposed to do here? And I thought to myself, who pays me? Who are all the people who pay me $59 a month? And I had been researching the 80-20 principle, which is something I'm putting in the book. And this whole idea of, what if I raised my prices, almost doubled my prices? What would happen to my business? And around the same time I heard this article, I'm not telling you guys to do this. It really is case by case. Okay. Because this guy came in and he was spending all this money on ads. I was like, I can continue to charge. I'm going to try to get to the point here, but just, I'm charging, let's say $59 per serve. And I have these attorneys who are more than willing to pay up to $100. Like there was a study done of paralegals, like how much you're willing to pay. And almost across the board, if it was an attorney client, they were like, we're willing to pay anything less than 100. We really don't question it. Does that sound reasonable? Most attorneys are like, well, if it's over 100, that's when we start to question. And so when I heard that, I'm like, yeah, that's kind of true. I never really have attorneys question it if it's less than 100. And then I had all these other people that were getting like $40 serves, $35 serves, like affiliates. And I thought, let me try this. So I raised my prices from $59 to $97 in a day. And I lost half of my customers. Probably like 40% of the affiliates, the collection. The only person I didn't raise it on was the collection people and the child support agencies, because they had a contract with them and they were sending me big checks every month, right? And so the main attorneys who were willing to pay 97, I couldn't charge them 97 and then charge this other guy 59. I couldn't do that, right? I couldn't do that on my website, charge 59 and then charge this guy. He would see that. It would be unfair. So when I raised it to 97, I immediately was like, the phone stopped ringing all the time, but yet my profit margins were higher than ever. And my gas prices went down. Like I'm telling you, like it's not for everybody, but the 80-20 principle is true. The Pareto principle, look it up. The idea that 80% of the money that you make comes from 20% of your clients. What Gail said is great. Get affiliates when you first get started. It's going to teach you about, even later on, because sometimes an affiliate relationship is not just to get the job. It's that you send them work, they send you work, and you make money when they send you work. And it's a relationship. So you don't have to go serve in this other area, but you could technically have a presence there, okay, by having that affiliate relationship. So it's not just about you getting work, it's about that affiliate relationship going back and forth, and you're able to serve your clients, your local clients, at a higher level, because they know that when you send something out, no matter where it is, it gets served. And I've experienced that with Mike and a few other people in San Diego, Robert Parambo, different people that do this at a really high level. They might only charge each other $25 or $30 a serve, because that's what they pay the server, a little bit more than what they pay the server. And then that person's willing to give that reciprocal rate. So what I started doing when I did this is I said, I'm not cutting out affiliates. I'm saying, what is your reciprocal rate? And so when they call me and they ask, and again, it's not for everybody. When you're first starting out, you should definitely just take whatever work you can get so you can learn this business. But once you get to a point where you've dominated your local market, this would be something to consider, is like to say, hey, let me charge a decent rate so that every time the wheels roll out from a website order or from an attorney order, when attorneys go to visit my website, I want it to be congruent. And then eventually raise my website pricing, which I did, to $147. If you look at my website now, right, Jessica? Oh, look at Jessica. She's got her background. Jessica is my support, my manager at 123. She's learning and handling all that stuff now. And look right there, it says a service or process now just $97. That's only given to attorneys. But if you go to my website, it says $147. So now it's congruent, right? They're like, whoa, I'm an attorney. I'm getting a special rate. I'm getting a special deal. Whereas if any random Joe comes to the website, they're paying $147. And here's the last point I'll make. Pro Se's almost never complain about the price. They either say, and I'd love your guys' feedback on this, okay? They either say, I have a fee waiver, in which case I tell them, I'm sorry, I'm not your guy. Go to the sheriff, or they just pay it. Those are the two that I have. I really don't have in the middle. Jessica, you got something?
Yeah, I had an experience the other day. I went to an Asian supermarket and I wanted to buy lemongrass for a recipe, and there's no price on it. I was like, oh, this is probably going to be like $6. I don't know what it's going to be. Sounds good. I'll pay it. I need it. Went to pay for it and it was 25 cents. So it's like when you are not in your own space where you don't know what the price is going to be, you're just going to pay it. And if it's higher or lower, you just have no idea. So I feel like I was like a pro se in a supermarket. I didn't know what was going on. And yeah, it's just kind of like you can charge.
But Jessica, if you went in with the mindset that it was going to cost 27 or 25 cents and it ended up costing $6, would you have flinched at that?
Yeah, I would, but I just had no idea. So it didn't matter to me. I had to get it. I needed it done. So.
Yeah, there's different ways to look at that, but the idea is that pro se's, they just have to get it served. Someone at the courthouse said, like right now I got off the phone with a mechanic. Interestingly enough, his name's Mechanic Mike, and he's fixing a transmission on a car for one of my friends who can't afford it. And so I said, I'll take care of it. Let's just get it down there and he'll fix it. And then you can pay me when you get the money or whatever. And so so he calls me up and I have no idea how much it's going to cost, but I know that it needs to be done. So we send it to him, not really knowing. And my brother-in-law's like, is he going to charge you an arm and a leg? And I'm like, well, I've already promised him all my business on all this other stuff that I have. And I said, so this is the first opportunity he has to show me, right? And so that's another way to look at it too, is, on your website, you want to keep it somewhat competitive too. It's like a professional competitive rate. If you went to my website, here's another way to look at this too, now that we're talking about pricing, okay? If you come to somebody's website and they're charging $28, oh, I mean, I don't know, it's a great deal, but are they going to serve it? Are they even going to attempt it? I mean, if a pro se doesn't know any better, then maybe they're like, oh, sweet, $28. They're not going to care, just like you said with the food stuff. They're not going to care. But people who are in the industry do. We look at that right away, or an attorney or a paralegal is going to look at that and go, $28. Yeah, like what? Like, and then or it's kind of the same thing when you get a reply from it in an email and there's no signature. I know some of you guys are guilty of that. You got to have a signature line that shows your company, who you work for. Are you professional? If you guys are following the Be the Backup script, Be the Backup training, I actually have a signature line in there you guys can steal. It even has like a confidentiality statement, which you should have as a for insurance purposes. Some of you I don't know if you guys have wondered, but as you start getting contracts, and some of you have contracts, I know, but you get contracts with these big outfits. They want you to have insurance. They want you to have a disclaimer. They want you to have a lockbox. So just steal my stuff. Just steal everything. Like my website. The one thing I would say is, like, on my website is don't go word for word, because it'll hurt you. It'll hurt your SEO. we don't have Mary on today. Jessica knows too. Like, you can't have duplicate stuff on your website. On it'll Google will know, and it'll go, hey, you're copywriting this guy, and he came before you, so he wins. That's how it works. So, and it will dock your website too. Good stuff, guys. These are some great topics. What other things you guys want to talk about? Getting new customers is it's always good when you can get me ranting and raving on that. What else we got?
Are you going to get back to the contract stuff?
Yes, we could talk about that. Absolutely. I just want to make in the beginning opportunity for anybody to have anyone who has any questions, because I can sometimes take over the whole meeting talking about mighty automation, and I try not to do that. Yeah, contracts are great. We can definitely do that. Gail, you had something?
Yeah, just a quick question, and maybe it's something we need to talk about privately, but how do you raise your the value of your website? My website's doing okay locally, but it doesn't get hits, I don't think it comes up as well, in other markets other than my specific town. It's not, I don't even know if it's great in my county. So I need to figure out a way to get that going. I love the website. It's a mighty website. But
did you signed up with our website?
yeah, you did my website. You refreshed it for me because I had a survey website and they wanted to turn it to one page, and I didn't want to go to one page. So I came back to you guys and you refreshed it, I was always red and gray and stuff. And I figured, my whole point of being in this business is to be the place where attorneys don't have to think about it. It's stress-free, relax, that kind of thing. So I made it in shades of blues and taupes to make it a little softer, a little bit more Zen-like. Yeah. But, I've had the website since, and the domain name since 2014. So I've got the age of it, but I don't know how to get the SEO higher,
Yeah. So there's a huge conversation around SEO that we could go on for a while, but I'll give you a couple basics. Okay. Yeah. One is that if somebody searches for process server in your county, there should be a page that says at the top, process server in your county, and then there's a bunch of reasons why below that are similar searches. So for example, Google, you can't just hack Google and say, hey, here's a page, my county with what I do, and then put a bunch of, just copy that same phrase and put it below. What's funny is that used to be how it was. Google's algorithms have constantly gotten better to help with search. But before, what they would do is they would literally take as many backlinks as they could. That was a thing for a while. On-page SEO, which is what I'm talking about right now, is like creating a page that actually has text that Google can search and index. So Google will search through the text, and then it will decide if that is a page that should be ranked on based on what the person searched, the Boolean search, right? So to answer your question, is like creating blog posts that are specific to your local area and what you do and the nuances around what you do. It has to be original. Like, you don't want to copy and paste from somebody else. And then ideally what you do is you link to another website that talks about this, maybe a government website, or which is with what we do is actually pretty common, right? Linking to another website that, or maybe civil codes, or maybe there's a new city ordinance and you want to talk about process servers now having to make sure they don't, we've always had to worry about not blocking driveways, but now there's a city ordinance for not parking so many feet from the curb or whatever. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. It sounds silly, but something as nuanced as that could be an article that you create that goes on your website that now ranks on Google for that county.
That makes sense. It's weird. I just heard from one of my friends. The city of New York is now searching websites. And if you're not a licensed process serving agency and you advertise that you serve in the city of New York, they're fining you $500 a day.
Wow.
Yeah. And he's got a price list saying he's serving the city of New York. And even though he contracts that work out, they're giving him a hard time. Or it could be Florida papers or, federal papers, which they're not allowed
Wow.
to regulate. Yeah, so it's scary.
Yeah, California is fighting a bill right now to keep registration. Assemblyman, I think, started a bill for making sure that registered process servers had to be registered in their local area and could not serve outside that area. So it's kind of interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we have to watch the federal regulations when we put things up, just on the side,
Yeah.
guys.
Is that
Yeah.
something that NAPS would step in? If
Oh,
there
yeah.
was-
Well, I don't know about for Gail's deal. It's like if it's not a law that's like fighting against process serving in general, then maybe not. But getting a fine for having a website, I wonder how they enforce that. First of all, we build websites and we put at the bottom, Mighty Website Builder. And if somebody wanted to know who or how to sue you, I'm going to say, take a hike. Even with a subpoena, I'm going to give them some, I'm going to give them a list of something that's not going to help them. So
It's just, the city of New York is a little crazy when it comes to process service. And the Department of Consumer and Workers, whatever it is, the DCWP, it's a fining agency. And even though California wants to copy what's going on in New York, basically it's a fining agency. And if you make a minor error on an affidavit, they'll fine you for $750. Each time that error is repeated. So if you did it on 3 affidavits, you had 3 defendants, you made the same error on 3 things, there goes, 15, 21 something $100, $2,200. So they're local. They're just crazy. And
how is the errors and omissions insurance coming into play with that? Are they now?
doesn't at all. They won't.
They don't cover it.
Support it. Nope.
Wow, that's crazy. I mean, that's essentially what it is. It's an error. Errors and omissions insurance is supposed to cover
Right.
that type of stuff for process servers. Yeah.
This website business, the first time I've heard of it. And of course, I'm the legislative chair of NIPSA. So, these things come across my desk, but it's really weird. It's scary that they're looking into things that are going on online. So, yeah. Anyhow, sorry, diversing.
No. This is.
I'm going to come back to you on that, maybe personally, Mike. Maybe.
Yeah, let's get together. So if you actually go to mightyautomation.com, so a couple actually good housekeeping thing for everybody to know is that Desi launches our websites and then she hands it over to us with Mighty Automation. Her and I have that business together where she'll build the website. I will go in and do the SEO on the back end so it ranks locally for you. And then after that, it's up to you to do blog posts and create content and do this stuff. And then we'll go back in every once in a while and use the AI. You can also do it as well. And you can optimize the on-page SEO and the back-end meta SEO using the AI tool that we have in there. But Desi's done after she builds it. Pretty much you could tell her, hey, add a page, add this, take that away. She's there for that. But we will help you with proactively, like what you're talking about, Gail.
Yeah.
This team I've hired here specifically to do that, to help with the automation marketing. That's what Mighty Automation is. So you got Mighty Website Builder that builds a website with Desi, and then you have Mighty Automation, which helps you automate and create your blog posts and create your content online and stuff. Yeah. So
I was talking about to Edge and I think Mark last week to get that started. I want to get my my blogs starting to post automatically if I can, or schedule them or something, Yeah,
schedule them out and then create images that relate to them and put it on social media. Schedule out the social media posts as well. And, they're all kind of learning it new as well. So, if you schedule another one, Mark can make sure that I'm on there with you too. I don't come to all of them because a lot of it's just, hey, let's set up your DNS records or, if you have some records you need to set up, it's going to take a little bit. I don't need to be there for that. But if you need me to come and I love to come and see how it's working and make sure that everything's going well for you. Because I love content and SEO. That's actually been my only focus with the directory.
I'm having fun with AI because you get an idea and AI can help you formulate it out. And I'm getting you know, without paying too much money, you can get AI to make a cartoon for you. So I have like Santa Claus serving process, and I had Valentine's Day with process service. I mean, it's been really cool to make these funky little posts for social
funny.
media, but I haven't put them on my website yet. I don't know.
Yeah, there's so many things you can do, but I will tell you that with this book writing process, for those that are interested and want to be a part of it, I have a new course that I'm building as I'm doing it, and I remember I'm almost like taking notes inside of school. It's not live yet for you guys, but here at the end of this week, maybe sometime next week, maybe Tuesday. Actually, I already said Tuesday. I'm going to launch it Tuesday, so you guys will be able to go in there and read the book, or even just skim through it. Tell me what you want, what do you think I should change and stuff. But most importantly for you, what I want to do, and this is actually pretty exciting, like to think how easy it is now to actually make a book. Okay, with the help of ChatGPT, with the help of the process. I'll just tell you really quick a couple things to get your gears turning. One is when you hand business cards to people, and you go out and you hand business cards to people, they look at the card, they hear what you have to say, they think whatever, right? But the idea that you could hand them a book after it's already a bestseller on Amazon, the idea that you can hand them a book and have the little thing on there once you print it saying bestseller. Okay. And so a couple of things I'm going to go over with you right away, because I paid $10,000 to be a part of it was actually like $12,000 to be a part of a book writing mastermind a long time ago. And I didn't even know I was paying the monthly fee on it for 2 years. And then Desi went through and helped me and I was like, what is this for? It's called selfpublishingschool.com. That's what it's called. Don't sign up for it. I'm going to teach you everything I learned in there. Okay. Okay. So it just real quick, not right now, but just real quick. You go through, you mind map your ideas. You ever heard of a mind map? There's a Miro board or a Coggle board, whatever you want. But the easiest way is just to take I have them all over actually. Is you take a piece of paper and you write a concept that you're going to write about. Start thinking of words, and the first things that come to your mind, just write these words down and mind map this whole. By the time you're done, you'll have this big board. You can even go to the dollar store, whatever it is, and get these like big construction paper and just write down everything about what it is that you know about a certain topic. We're talking about single words, not necessarily paragraphs, just words. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take all the words and you're going to type them out in ChatGPT or whatever AI you want to use, and say, list these words out. And then what you're going to do is, as you're going through, you're going to say, hey, as potential titles. And I'm going to show you, screen share with you guys when I do it, when we launch the course and we start editing the book. So what I want you to do, if you're interested, not everyone's going to be interested, but those that are interested, start mind mapping. Start mind mapping the niches that you might be interested in writing a book about. And don't be so stuck on the idea that like, well, I don't want to do this one because I want to. You can write 10 books.
Yeah.
You can write as many books as you want, because Amazon will publish them for almost nothing. And then you just keep doing them, keep writing them. And then before you know it, one's going to really pop off. And then that's going to be your bestseller. That's going to be the one you print. And the one you print is the one you give to people. Be like, oh, yeah, I just want to give you a copy of my book. I just had some laying around, whatever. But it actually has like all your business information on it. It directs them inside the book to go to your website, where you're going to add a little pixel to their browser. So wherever they go online, they're going to see your retargeting ads. When you decide to do them, it doesn't have to be right away. When you decide to turn on retargeting ads, you're not paying for everybody in the world to see your ad, just the people you handed a book to. So this is the thing. This is once you figure out, it's actually pretty easy. There's just some nuances, it's my new favorite word, nuances. When you figure out there's some technicality to setting certain things up, it drives people crazy and it kind of steers them away from it. But that part, let me help you with that part. You just focus on the creativity part of it, and the rest of it will just shine. You'll just shine. Your business will look like, everyone who's going to be a part of this is going to be an author if they want to be.
Cool.
For free included. Just help me. The main thing is I need reviews on my book, which we will all give each other reviews as well on your book, and buy the book for $1. It's kind of the commitment. That's really the only commitment that you make when you become a part of this launch team, is that you're going to review my book. And when we start, all of you start writing your books, we're all 30 or 40 or however many of us they're going to be, will go and leave those initial reviews so that Amazon is like, wow, this is a great book. Let's share it out to anyone who searches in the legal field. You're going to get attorneys, you're going to get paralegals, you're going to get whoever, Amazon's smart. They have algorithms too, right? And Google indexes Amazon's content as well. So your book will show up. And last but not least on this topic, before we go to the course type stuff, and then I want to talk a little bit about what Jessica was saying, a couple of best lead sources because we're out of time, is the idea that you're now an author. So when you want to, when the news is looking to interview someone about a certain thing that happened, like if you're a PI or whatever your specialty is, skip tracing, missing persons, divorce, all these different things, right? Maybe it's just process serving. Like I said in the, well, you guys haven't seen the book yet, but I talk about I'm writing in the book is like process serving. It's not just process serving. You don't want to just be a process server specialty. Like, is it finding people? Like, is it hard, people that are hard to serve, don't get stuck in the weeds with it. You really do want a niche that is not process serving, right? Because if your niche is process serving, you're too general. It's like saying, I like Italian food. What would you like to order today, sir? Italian food. Okay, what? You go to an Italian food store and you're like, or Italian restaurant, Olive Garden, and you're like, I want an Italian food. Well, you're at the wrong place, first of all. But no, if you want to call Olive Garden Italian food, you got to be specific. What do you want? Do you want the gnocchi? Do you want the, spaghetti? You got to be specific. So process serving, and then what is that niche that you do? And it will separate you. Mike Kern, who is probably one of the biggest well-known process servers in the country, in the industry, and with attorneys, I guess, too. That's not his niche. Does anybody know his niche? Not really, but the people who hire him know his niche. The people who have sent him work, the attorneys, they know his niche. It's out-of-state deposition subpoenas. He will prepare. He specializes. His whole team, they know, they will prepare the subpoena for another state to have it served. And so people from California who have moved to other states, he's the one hiring them out in other states because he knows how to domesticate the subpoenas in all the other areas. So whatever your specialty is, and he hasn't written a book. I don't even know if there is a book on that, but write a book, become the specialist, and you can crush it. So cool. How to find collection agencies. Let's talk about this. We call them contract clients, but collection agencies are probably the main ones that send work out all over. If you start at the top, go from the top down, just list out anyone who offers credit. Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, start listing them out, and then start Googling them. I'm serious. Put this on a Google sheet, list them out, and then start Googling collection account for Bank of America, or even use ChatGPT. This is what I did when I first started doing it. And what I found was they actually will have subsidiary companies that they still own that will hire out big firms, and they require big insurance premiums. I tried to get one recently that ended up going to an alphabet company, and it would have been life-changing. I mean, I have a very good life. I've done really well with my businesses, but it would have doubled my income. I would have been very busy. I would have hired 100 VAs probably, sending work out all over, right? But I didn't get it, and that's okay. This just directed me to start this community and do something a little bit different. But down from there, keep going down from there. So instead of getting the 10,000 jobs to send it out, per month to send out to like the Western region, right? Which is what I was going for. Instead of getting that, what else can you get? Go down from there. There are lots of local, what they call credit bureaus or credit collection agencies locally that have to have things served. They have to. And what they do is, because they can't count on one or twosies, because not everybody's going to pay, they literally will go after the phone. So there's a couple different niches that are not the Chases and the Bank of Americas. Okay. Is hospitals. Any hospitals that sell their debt to credit collection agencies are great local bulk companies, because what they do is they buy the debt for pennies on the dollar. They'll go and hire a collection agency that hires an attorney that will turn around and have you serve, thousands of people, hundreds a month at least, and then they will try to collect, and they're probably only going to collect from 10%. But that's still a lot out of 10 people that are each, owing thousands of dollars in their medical debt. And hospitals they do this routinely. They help people that don't have insurance. In certain states, it's required to help them whether they have insurance or not. And then they try to collect on the back end, and they still only collect about 10%. And you're a part of that process. And so once you become this is an even bigger lesson of, like, if this was it's a flow. It's more like a flow of water. If you get this flow of water happening, and you can somehow become a part of that conveyor belt where the water's coming down, you can just get not yourself in there where there's already money happening. Flow of water is probably not the best example. Like a conveyor belt or something. Like, you're a part of the cog in the wheel, right? That's one of the ways they say it. If you can insert yourself in there, you can make money. With real estate, wholesale is an example. You find the property which the investor is already trying to find. You find the property, and then he can buy it. He's more than willing to pay you $5,000 or $10,000 to find the property, because he's going to make 100. Okay, so you become a cog in the wheel of that process of him flipping houses. So for process serving, how do we become that for the attorney? The attorney has to have it served. If they're hiring a paralegal to go serve all their stuff, maybe your local state, maybe they don't have laws in place to protect against that. Maybe you want to become a part of your association and create laws that make it where the attorneys can't just hire paralegals. I don't know. For me, I don't like to go against the grain like that. I like to look and see where the money's already happening and go there. Right? It's like, if you want to sell something, before you decide what to sell, see where there's a lot of buyers already with their hands out going, I have, people who are like, this is my mechanic money. People who are like, pulling out the hundies, and saying, this is my mechanic money, I want to go pay this guy. Saying, hey, here's this money. Go find me what I'm looking to do. Like, if it's an attorney, they have cases, they get paid $5,000. Do you think they have a problem paying you $100 to serve it? They can't move forward with the case until it's served. Right? So I don't know. What other ideas do you guys have? Okay, I could keep going on the bulk clients. There's a lot of them, a lot of different ones. Maybe we need to make a list, Mark. Should we make a list and give it to only the Mighty Premium members? Pretty much everybody comes as a Mighty Premium member. If somebody's not a Mighty Premium member, they're crazy. Mighty Premium, for those of you guys that don't know or you're watching the replay, is basically a statewide listing that actually I've decided I'm only offering until June 1st, because I'll continue to offer statewide listings, but statewide listings are going up to 97. We're just going to jump from 57 to 97 for new people. And then anyone who has already has a statewide listing, of course, you get to keep it. And then county listings will be $27 if they just want a county listing. But Mighty Premium will come included with the statewide listing, which is $97. So you guys that locked in the lower rates, you guys are going to be locked in for life. For that, at that rate, it'll never go up. But anyway, you get a statewide listing, you get access to mightyautomation.com, which is our tool that allows you to be able to automate your social media, automate your emails. Mark was going to give you guys a 2-hour presentation. I stopped him, but about how about how to manage your emails and send out email blasts. And he's learning all about it. That's what he does all day, just learning about Mighty Automation and how the tools work for you. And then after that, you get access to the developer. My developer's putting together. Let me actually do he's probably not screen sharing. He doesn't like to screen share too often. Let's see. Um, let's see my developer here. So yeah, he's not oh yeah, he's got his huddle going here.
At least you got me at the top where I belong. That's all I got to say.
That's what I'm saying. That's what's up, dude. What's up, Anush? Hey, I'm doing pretty good, buddy. Just relaxing. You're over here building something awesome for us. Awesome. I got my community. You want to say hi? You don't have to. Let's wait till it's more developed. But I just wanted to check on you. Make sure you're over there hustling for me. Making it look pretty. Okay. Okay, perfect. Perfect. I'll be back to check in more. Appreciate it, Anush. All right. So, I don't know. I wasn't sure how that was gonna go, but yeah, he's over there building and working, and we're going back and forth in the app. I could screen share the actual app and show you guys. Let me actually see here. It's actually pretty neat. Let me just do that real quick. So the app that we're building out for right now, it's just going to be, there we go. Can you guys see my screen? Infinity mirror, ignore. Can you guys see my screen okay?
Yes, Mike.
Okay, so the idea here, and it's very new, but you guys can come over here and go to app.mightyprocessserver.com. It's like a link. So you want to make sure that you get the right link, and all of you are getting added to this, if you're a Mighty Premium member, but it's still in the testing phase, right? So if I search for a person here, right, we're still only getting we're getting a list of just random people right now. But what's going to happen in the future is you're going to be able to go into your portal. I don't know. I think I actually showed you guys this already, huh? You could see your jobs received anytime someone asks for a quote. It'll show up here, any quotes that you've sent out, and we'll probably change some of the verbiage here, but I'd love to hear your guys' feedback. We actually have a chat specifically for this. If you guys want to be a beta tester, everyone's welcome to go check it out, but specific for beta testers, we're actually looking for feedback on what to do next. And so like, where do we want to put our time, server application screen. This one is wildly not okay. And then on the back end, we actually have the ability to make updates for you and see the different quote requests and be able to help hold people accountable. A big part of this, in case you guys don't know, is that we insure every job that comes through here. So if somebody is a bad actor, a bad player, what we'll do is we'll end up removing them from the community, refunding the customer. And so you don't want to be a part of this if you're not someone who's going to uphold your work. Of course, we're going to have like a arbitration, kind of like what NAPS does, like an arbitration. I'm not just going to delete somebody, right? Like, we're a family, we're a community. And so, but I'll come to you and be like, hey, this is what the person's saying. The default response is a refund. First of all, I don't want to give a refund. Well, it's not that you just made the attempts. For example, I have had a business for a long time. I know process serving and what is reasonable, what is not. If I go and make the attempts and I do a declaration and I've gotten it back within a decent amount of time, that's your business, how you want to do that, but it should be reasonable. And if in a group of your peers look at it and go, dude, it took you 2 months to do a declaration, refund him, right? If it takes you 2 months to do a declaration, but you did all the attempts within 2 weeks and you didn't respond to his emails, it's a refund. Do you guys disagree? Let's rattle the hen house. I'm curious to know what you guys think. I got Sean and Charles here. You guys are ready. You guys are queued up and ready to talk about this. I can tell.
Charles can go first.
I'm not queued up. I mean, if it affects their case, and I think so, yeah. I mean, you got to do what's right.
Yeah.
So I drag my feet. I'm bad affidavits. It's probably my worst thing of getting, affidavits back to people. It's one of my slow parts, and it's mainly because of staffing. So if somebody complains, man, I reduce the rate or I refund them. I'm not going to have
something. Be reasonable, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's what I would want somebody to do for me. It's kind of the way I figured out.
Here's where I think I might run into the biggest problems with this. Is the people who are brand new.
Yeah.
Because that refund means their account's negative.
Yeah, and I noticed you had somebody on the other day that was talking about that their policies no refunds, and it's to me I'll give money back quicker than I will anything else, because in the grand scheme of things, it's going to help you in the long run. So what? I lost $50 on a job. A lot of people just would rather be right.
Yeah.
And I've done it in the past. When I was younger, I've argued with an attorney.
Yeah.
But now I kind of, before I make a big argument with one attorney, I'll go in and I'll see how much he's given me this year.
That's actually good.
I have an API set up so I can see how much the firm gives me for the year. So
Do you really?
An attorney that basically wrote back and told me I was being a pain in the ass and he was tired of me. And I looked up to Saul and well, he's given me 10 grand in 4 months. I'm going to suck it up,
Yeah.
So I sucked it up. But, 2 years down the road, when he switched to 2 grand over a year, then I bid back and told him I was going to sue him for my money,
Oh yeah. That's actually really funny. That's the whole idea that, hey, I used to tell people that. Oh, Gail, you had something.
Yeah, just basically, it's hard. It's hard when you're running your own business to get everything done, So that's part of that. It's a good reason why you should have a VA, because they can follow you up, make sure that your affidavits are going out on time. And that seems to me one of the hardest things to the places where we get caught up with affiliates. But the thing is, remember to keep a disclaimer on your emails, basically saying you can't serve everything. Sometimes you just can't serve a paper. You give them 3 attempts, you give them 5 attempts, you give them whatever, but sometimes you can't serve a paper. And so you want to have a disclaimer saying that you can't always serve a paper, and that is not a reason for people to take your money away. Although, back to your point, it's easier to give a refund than to get into an argument. It just is. And the only times I've had it is when people don't understand what the service is. So I'm really clear about what I can and can't do and what a rush constitutes and what a routine constitutes. You have to be real clear with your clients so that they understand what parameters you're both working on, and then have a disclaimer about everything else. That's it.
And I think, Gail, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No worries. Oh.
I was just gonna say, and this is where communication with the client is a big factor. If you bust your ass and get the serve done and you're kind of dragging your feet on the paperwork side of things, just shoot them an email and just say, hey, look, haven't forgotten, I'm getting to it, and I know like Virginia, Charles can, attest to this. I think you have like 72 hours, right, to get those affidavits done. So you really can't drag your feet on those.
Yeah, the code, I'll argue with attorneys sometimes. The code says you're supposed to return in 72 hours, but then there's another section of the code that says it doesn't affect your case if you don't get it back done in 72 hours. So it's a dumb law.
Yeah, but attorneys only read what they hear what they want to hear. So the 72 hours is what sticks in their head. Yeah. But and then what I was gonna say is, just communication in all aspects of the business is key. But just sending an email saying, hey, I know I used this affidavit. I'm going to get to it on, whatever Wednesday night, but Jessica can tell you, like, I'm out here, I'm on the computer sometimes till like midnight, sitting here doing affidavits, and I'll make a comment on one of the school posts, and then she'll, like, I guess, see that I'm awake, and then she'll like message me and stuff. But yeah, I mean, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. I mean, it's your business. I mean, you can't let it suffer. And if you're a small business like me, one bad review on Google, can really hurt you. So you don't want to do anything to piss somebody off. So, I mean, like Charles said, I mean, $50, just give it back somewhere, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A bad Google review lasts forever.
I've actually gotten at least 3 I can remember bad Google reviews removed just by calling the person. Like, hey, look, I mean, I gave them a refund too. I said, hey, I saw that you left a bad review. I know we talked about how you still had to pay even though I made the attempts. This was one of them. But I understand it's frustrating. You don't know where the guy is, and we skip traced him. We got nothing back. It was a complimentary skip trace, and I wasn't sure about the results, and I was like, I probably wouldn't. And and I said, what if I give you a refund? Will you remove it? He's like, absolutely. I said, okay, I'm gonna issue the refund and send you a screenshot. He removed it the same day. It's like, if not everyone's going to be like that, one lady I served who left me a bad review, that wasn't a refund. I gave her $20. She was a crackhead. I said, I will give you $20 to remove that bad review. You weren't even my customer. And I had to skip trace to get her number. You weren't even my customer. And she's like, I was like, I'll give you $20. She's like, how are you going to do it? I said, I'll send you Cash App or Venmo or whatever. This was actually like 2019. This was later on. And she's like, okay. And I ended up actually meeting her and giving her $20 cash because she didn't have a phone, or she didn't have a Cash App on her phone. And I was like, that's the best $20 ever spent. Is like, she left a scathing review, like a long review, saying that I served her. I ended up serving her through the window. Like, she was at a window. I could see her so I could describe her. I communicated with her. She said, F you. And I was like, this is for you. She goes, I don't want him. And I served him right there outside the house, but she could hear me and see me, and we communicated. So I served her, and she was like, it wasn't valid because I wasn't outside. He couldn't even see me over my couch. And like, I saw you. You were on the couch yelling and screaming and cussing at me. So anyways, yeah, definitely good stuff,
And
the other thing,
the only bad reviews, sorry, Mike, the only bad reviews I've ever gotten, and I have gotten some, they're all pro se's. It's never attorneys.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's the bad about them, but that's the good thing about them too, is pro se's have like an immediate trigger to leave a review. So just when you get a pro se, you got, this, Charles, I know, but when somebody orders pro se orders, you got to call them right away and be like, hey, a couple things I got to go over with you. First of all, like, I saw you ordered on my website. Thank you for that. I got your documents. I've looked them over. Jessica, this is good for you. I looked them over. I noticed that you only have, it says page 1 of 5 and page 3 is missing. And so this is what you do with the pro se's. The whole document's not there. They think that it's like Amazon delivery. So it is frustrating, but once you go through these things, you have it memorized. You're like, hey, you're missing page 3. By the way, there's this cool app called Cam Scanner, and you can actually have the all scanned into one, or Adobe Scan. You can have it all scanned into one, and that way it's one file, not 5 files. Okay. And you're paying to make the attempts. Assume I'm not going to serve it. How will you feel if for some reason I go there and it's a bad address? That you're paying for the attempts to serve it. I can't pay my guy to go out there, knock on the door, spend his gas money and everything, and then not get paid. Does that make sense? They're like, oh yeah, I've never had someone go, well, that doesn't make sense. They always go, well, that makes sense. And I'm like, okay. But good news is how you spin it around. Good news is I actually offer a complimentary skip trace after we do the first address. If for some reason it's bad, this is how I try to get the wow factor. If for some reason it's bad, we'll do a declaration, which the judge wants to see that we made efforts to try to serve it, right? But then we'll also do a complimentary skip trace. It might show us a second address. Again, you'll have to pay for another server potentially to go out to that other address, right? Because he needs to get paid for his attempts. But we can try with this first one. Then I kind of pivot into like what's the best way to serve him, because you only get so many attempts. If you only get so many attempts, what are the best times to go? Where does he hang out? Should we maybe try at work instead of at home? So these are some things that you do, and I know you guys that are experienced are like, yeah, Mike, of course, this is what we all do. But for people who are new, okay, right, this is gold. Imagine if someone told you this when you first started serving papers, like these little tidbits of like the papers missing and how much and making the attempts. Like, if you're watching this and you're watching the replay or you're brand new in the industry, this is something has to happen. You have to put these things in place. This is why I love having an online order form. This says no refunds, even though I may give one if it calls for it. It says no refunds. It has the disclaimers in there so that I can actually get arbitration and grievance to just give me my money back. So Jessica, you have some.
Yeah, we have something that I found will get me even better reviews. So with small claims, when they file their case, they get the notice of the claim and then they send it to me to serve. But it's like there's a whole defendant's packet that has to be served. And the court doesn't mail that to them until 4 to 5 months after they've filed their case. So I go back and I say, hey, if I serve this now, I'm going to have to serve it again later when you have the whole packet, and you're going to have to pay again. And they're really appreciative. And that always gets me a good review because it happens a lot.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Anytime you can make it easier for them and help them, accomplish something that they, the best ones are when they call and they say, yeah, the sheriff has made multiple attempts to try to serve it. He's not able to serve it. And usually that tells me I need to charge them more money, but I don't do that anymore because everything's on the website, right? So I go, okay, go ahead and order online. And that's one of the downfalls when you're brand new is better not. When you're brand new, it's better not to have that because you can charge more and you can close them on it early. But anyway, other opportunities to win big or to stand out from others is skip tracing. I mean, if you get with the right skip tracing tool, TLO, Delve Point, heck, even Amberjack, which is like a non-GLBA data, but it gives you phones and addresses.
IDI.
IDI, yeah. IDI used to be terrible. I remember when they first came out, and they got pretty good.
Yeah, I used to use TLO all the time, and I've kind of switched to IDI as being my primary.
Yeah, they're good. They're better. They're better than they used to. A lot better than they used to be because they started with phone numbers. Like that was the one I only used them for phone numbers for a while, and because they just gave you like 20, so you could just call till you get a family member, and then eventually you're like, yeah, I got a delivery for a Sean Griffin over here at 123 Main Street that is the wrong address, and then they're like, yeah, booyah, and they're like. And it's funny because Sean had a delivery company here, did that stuff. But yeah, I got a delivery and they're like, no, 123 Main Street, where's that? Like, I don't know. That's the address I got. Is there another place I should be looking at? You're like, you can deliver it here. Oh, okay. Are you grandma? Are you mom? Oh yeah, mom. Oh, so she lives there with you or she lives somewhere different? Because I need a signature. Being more general, and this is like a script, perfect sub rosa script. So for those of you that are thinking I'm lying, I am.
Playing the dumb delivery driver works
Yeah.
miraculously.
Yeah. It's called sub rosa. If you think it's unethical, Google it. It's called sub rosa. And in some states, you probably can't do it, actually. Some states, it's probably illegal unless you're a private investigator. So you got to do your own due diligence and know what you can and can't do. I can't tell you that. But guys,
you can't just claim plausible deniability.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Be like, I don't know. Listen, I can't help you. I'm not even an accountant. I'm not an accountant, a lawyer.
You're gonna make all these laws, make us registered.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited though that this idea of having the directory be very interactive inside the directory, having a chat on the right hand side, almost like school, where it's just like ongoing and we can like communicate inside of there and then have the ability. It's basically my playground. I'm going to create this thing. So that we can use it and like communicate and do. I might even put a video feature in there where we can do like this inside of the app. The sky is the limit, and I'm just going to keep going with it. And there will be, for one thing for sure, will be inside of there, as anyone who hires you has the ability to leave you a review, a starred review, and be required to comment why they left the star they left. But because Google doesn't require it, which I think they should. People just come leave you a 1 star, and you don't even know who they are. You know. Ladies Man 217 just left me a 1 star review. What am I supposed to do? Who am I calling? You know, Charles, you said, why would you go to Google? Yeah. So what's cool is, oh man, I forgot. Oh, it is taking notes. Good. So Gemini AI is taking notes on everything we say, which is summarizing it so that at the end I can put it. It'll have your name. It'll have what your feedback was. It'll have a summary of it. And for those of us that are long-winded, right? And it's also transcribing and recording. It's just so much better than Zoom. Honestly, I've been going to mastermind meetings with different masterminds I'm a part of. And everyone has started coming over to Google because Google has all these tools that it'll let you use that are just better. Like I know Zoom has very similar comparable things, but Google's is just better. Google's actually more expensive for what I'm doing. So, but it is better. Q&As, polls. I could show you right now, but we don't want to make it all about Google. But you can actually do this. Check this out. I know you're a little late, Charles. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Does yours do it? Oh, they said that they looked it up and it's because I have a Mac. It's like a heart thing. No? I think I'm embarrassing Edge. She looks embarrassed. Yes. Anyways, this has been fun, you guys. Yeah, I'm having fun with the developer and building this and testing it and doing all the different things. Mighty Automation as a tool is working really well. And I have like 6 different CRMs that I use for my different businesses. And it gets overwhelming and frustrating. And now that we're slowly bringing everything onto Mighty Automation, and it's awesome. It's so awesome. Like the idea that I could search and find somebody in a certain area right inside of there. I could send them a quote request. I could send, I could do everything right inside of there. It's really cool. So if you guys are not already using it, let me know and we'll let Mark know and just schedule a call at mightyautomation.com / what is it? / go. I had to show you guys that feature. Oh, is it raining? What? That is so awesome. Okay, when somebody says something, be like, mine doesn't do balloons. Oh, it does. All those that don't have Macs. Charles, you got a Mac? Yeah, see, once you.
Hey, sorry, I stepped away from my desk. Did you guys need me?
We've actually just been waiting here for you. Just kidding.
Yeah. Can you hurry up? God. We can start the meeting now again, Mike.
Sorry, I had a note.
Mike, my new studio just is sitting on the steps now. I just need to go out and get it.
Yeah.
I just ordered a new Mac Studio.
Did you really? Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Hey, Charles, what happens when you put the middle finger up?
I don't think it does anything.
Do it, Charles.
It doesn't do anything. Yeah.
Oh, I'm aghast. I can't wait to read me saying that I'm aghast on the thing later. So, well, guys, this has been fun. I got another meeting. Who do I have a meeting with, Mark? Brendan.
This is for Edge.
You better stop that right now.
Hey, Mike.
Mr.
Yeah, it's
Sun.
round one, Mike.
Okay. Yeah. How's it going? Sunshine, what's your name?
Raymond Mitchell.
Ray. That's right. Yeah. How you doing?
Hey, Mike, I'm sorry. I was busy doing some attempts. I couldn't jump in there. When you guys were talking about the search engines like TLO and all that,
Yeah.
what do you guys think about IRB Focus?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Before IDI came out, that was the other one I used a lot. It was IRB and Delve Point and TLO. But
That would
IRB is
be-
owned by the same people, right? Let me see.
Yeah, they're owned by Dell Point, same company.
Yeah.
Yeah, they used to be LexisNexis back when I was in law enforcement, and I kind of
there's one-
followed them since then.
I think that their data is good.
I only use them for social security numbers.
Really?
Yeah.
Where are you guys? No,
I
there
have
you go.
both
So I
of
guess
them.
I'm sorry, Charles, I cut you off. What'd you say?
I was gonna say I have IRB and Dell Point. I need to cancel one of them because I'm just wasting $10 a month.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the crazy part is like $10 a month. I mean, if you are new to the business and you go Google like skip trace software and you get what's the one, Truth Finder or one of these ones, something verified, it's like $35. And then it does this whole thing where it's searching and it shows you how hard it's working with the little dials. Yeah. Have you done that, Charles? You remember that?
I've seen those, yeah.
Yeah, and I remember, and the data is trash. You know, if you're brand new to the business, go to truepeoplesearch.com and use that. It's going to be trash data, but it's going to be let's say 3 out of 10 times you'll get the actual address that you're looking for.
Trash.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But or you can just go get a site verification, which for those of you who don't know, I started launching a software called Mighty Locator. And it was going to be the #1 skip tracing tool for process servers that didn't have social security numbers. It just gives the last 4 so that you could identify who was the right person, and then you don't have to have a site visit. But what I found is the players have kind of pushed out new competition. It's a minimum $1 million data buy-in to get involved, and I could do API data, but it was trash. It wasn't the best data, so I said, forget it. Plus, it's so cheap, like $10 a month plus $2 for a search or whatever. You get 100 searches included, depending on the software. I think TLO went up, right? They were 50 and they went up higher.
I know they were expensive when I was looking into it. That's one of the main reasons why I wasn't using them. But
TLO is 60 minimum now.
Yeah. Oh, Jessica, your hand's still up. Do you have something too?
Yeah, are there any of them that allow users to provide feedback? Say if you try an address and it's bad, that you can submit, your experience, what you found out, and then it shares it?
No, that's one of the things I wanted to add on mine. Yeah. No, I don't know. I haven't experienced that. I haven't had them. How about you, Gail? You get your hand raised?
Tracers, and I get $39 and I get, I don't know, 50 or so lookups with the $39. So it's like a minimum.
Tracers?
Yeah, I think 50 searches for $39, and then it goes like $1 a search after that, something like that. So that works out for me. I've been using them for years. I also use IDI as a backup. This way I can compare just for that same thing, to make sure that I've got a valid address. I also will sometimes send out, if it's something that's going to be expensive, like let's say I'm serving in another state because the person moved to another state, I'll do a postal trace with NCA, which is like $1 or so a search, and then I'll get a forwarding address or something like that. Instead of sending out a regular postal, it's a database postal search. So,
yeah, back when I was doing searches regularly, like every day, we I don't know if it's true, but we figured out what we found and we believe to be true back in like 2018 was that if you're looking on the East Coast, Delve Point was better, and if you're looking on the West Coast, TLO was better. Yeah. So I think remember they're buying data. And so depending on where they're buying their data from, how often they're buying the data is going to depend on how good the data is.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. Cool.
Yeah, they're buying bulk amounts of data based on like somebody moves, and so every quarter, basically every 3 months, their data. That's why it doesn't let you know immediately.
Do you have any kind of? Oh, let me turn these off. That's probably annoying. Do you have any kind of a database or list or anything that you may have compiled that would kind of give new or even experienced process servers a list of all the different ones that they could try out there to do their searches? Might be good for private investigators too.
That's actually not a bad idea. Create a list. I'm actually not a big fan. I don't like steering people different ways. But I love what you're saying is 100% true. Yes, absolutely. Who are the players out there? Who are the and then you could go try them. The
Right.
problem that I've had is like I'm very biased. So like if I use them and then their customer support's terrible and they're just terrible, then I will say don't use them. When in fact using the software you may have a better experience than me, so I think creating a list of all the known ones and then making notes, let the community make notes about them. I think that would be pretty cool.
Right. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody
Gail, you
just
had
pulled
something?
in. Y'all
No.
have a great day. I'm gonna go try this one again.
All right, good luck.
Thanks.
Good luck.
Yeah. Oh. You don't have to whisper to me. I already like you. Oh, she's busy. Okay, yeah. Cool. So creating a list. So Mark, make that a thing to do. Skip tracing resources. Okay. And let's just make a list of all the skip tracing resources, the different tools. Actually, make a post about it. Let's start there. Make a post and just say, here's a list. Use ChatGPT, skip tracing tools used by private investigators and process servers. And let's make a list and say, is yours on here? If it's not on here, comment below. That type of thing. Yeah, I think that'd be really good for the community, actually. Because when I use skip tracing tools, it's using the same old ones, and they're not great. I'm not excited. Like you said, Charles, like might as well cancel one because like it's just a waste in $10. Cool. Well, guys, I have another meeting I'm going to jump into. If you want to meet with me one-on-one with my team, you can go to mightyautomation.com and just click on contact us, and that calendar tool will put you right on our calendar.
Cool.
Okay.
One other thing, guys, before we go, Sean, I'm sorry I didn't get back to you. I'm glad you picked Callahan.
Thanks, Gail. No worries.
Okay.
I'll hit you up next time.
Okay, cool. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
Bye, Edge.
Have a good day. We'll see. Oh, there's a thumbs down. They need to create an emoji that does a flex thing,
Oh.
That'd be pretty cool. Cool. All right, everybody hit the thumbs up. Thumbs up. Cool, guys. Be safe. All right, we'll see you next Tuesday. And don't forget taxes. Taxes. Uncle Sam wants that money. Uncle Sam wants all of this money, actually. Okay.
I got a printer to print those too, Mike. So don't worry.
Do you really? Yeah, you see, I got my
balling.
see my table over here. See, I got my table. I'm the only guy that feels cool looking at all the titles to all the vehicles and trailers. I'm just like going through my titles like they're dollar bills. Like, but you guys,
Take care, guys.
Yeah. See you guys later. See you Tuesday. Oh, wait. You can't end this video call yet.
Are we gonna? Oh, we have a separate link.
Yeah. So I
for-
think I have to go. Let me see. Actually, how do I stop recording? Let's see. Manage recording. And we're going to go stop recording. Also stop transcribing. Yes. Stop.